All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something you use literally every single day, even if you don't realize it: math. But not that stuffy, abstract math from the classroom. We're talking about math for the real world. So, imagine this. You're out shopping, you see a sign, 20% off a $40 video game. What's the final price? Quick, what's your gut reaction? Don't stress about getting it perfect just yet. Just let the question sink in for a second. Yeah, see, this isn't some pop quiz. This is about your actual money, your budget. It's about your wallet. Getting this right actually matters. And you know that feeling you get when you spot a discount? That little thrill? That's actually the perfect gateway to understanding why these everyday numbers are so important. This isn't just a random problem. It's a real life skill. The thing is, percentages are, well, they're absolutely everywhere. The mental math you use for that game discount, it's the exact same skill you need to figure out a tip at a restaurant or understand what sales tax is doing to your bill. So, let's unlock that secret, shall we? Let's start treating percentages for what they really are. One of the most common, most useful tools you could possibly have. And trust me, mastering it is way easier than you think. Let's just break this down to its absolute simplest form. The word percent. It sounds so formal, right? But it's literally just Latin for per 100. That's it. That's the whole secret. So 20% isn't some intimidating number. It's just a simple way of saying 20 parts out of a total of 100. And if you're a visual person, check this out. Imagine the full price is 100 little pieces. The discount, we're just taking away 20 of those pieces. That small slice is what you save, and that big slice is what you still have to pay. It just kind of clicks when you see it that way, right? So, how do we actually do this with our video game? It's a super simple 3-step dance. First, you turn that percentage into a decimal. Just slide the decimal point 2 spots to the left. Easy. Then you multiply the original price by that new decimal. And that's it. That'll give you the exact discount. And boom, $40 times 0.20 is $8. $8. That is the actual cash you get to keep in your pocket, which means, of course, the final price is $32. And really, that's the heart of it. Being able to do that quick little calculation, that's step 1 to becoming a truly smart shopper and really taking control of where your money goes. Okay, but let's zoom out for a second, because percentages are just one tool in a much bigger toolbox. Now we get to explore the kind of math that actually lives and breathes outside the classroom. This whole idea, it actually has a name: applied mathematics. And it's not about memorizing a bunch of formulas. It's the skill of taking these core ideas, like percentages, and connecting them to situations you're actually going to face. All right, ready to add another incredibly powerful tool to your kit? Let's talk about ratios. Now, you might remember these from school, but believe me, their real-world uses are amazing, everywhere from your kitchen to a design studio. So what are they really? Well, think of ratios and proportions as your secret weapon for scaling. They're what you use anytime you need to compare different amounts of stuff or resize something while making sure everything stays in balance. Let me make this super clear. Have you ever had to double a cookie recipe for a party? Well, you are using ratios to make sure you added twice the flour and twice the sugar so the cookies didn't taste weird. That's the exact same logic an engineer uses to build a perfect scale model of a car, making sure every single part is proportionally correct. Okay, so we have these awesome tools, but how do you actually get good at using them? I'll tell you right now, it's not about grinding through 100 problems in a textbook. There's a much better way to build real, lasting understanding. The best approach, it always starts with the real world. It focuses on really mastering one idea before you jump to the next one. It uses cool, interactive visual tools so you can actually see the problem you're trying to solve. And most importantly, it's about building critical thinking, not just memorizing steps. And look, practice is still totally essential, but we're talking about smart practice, structured repetition. When you practice these skills in different real-world scenarios, you build both speed and accuracy. And eventually, it just becomes second nature. It turns from practice into a true skill. So let's wrap this all up, because the goal here, it's so much bigger than just getting good at math. This is about fundamentally changing how you look at challenges. This quote just nails it. The whole point isn't to turn you into a human calculator. The objective is to empower you, to give you the confidence to become a great problem solver. What you're really doing here is learning a new way to see the world around you. You're learning how to look at a complicated situation,
pinpoint the actual problem, and then grab the right tool to find a solution. Honestly, it's kind of a superpower.
And that leaves us with just one final thought. You have the tools now, and way more importantly, you have the mindset to look at the world a little differently. You're equipped. So the only question left is, what real-world problem are you going to solve first?